If you're like me around the country over the last couple of weeks, you will have heard a lot from New Zealanders. People have been not shy and sharing their views over the summer break. And it's pretty clear that New Zealanders are looking for one thing this year more than anything else. And that is a sense of hope, because they're not getting it from this current government. They're seeing more cuts, more negativity, real doom and gloom from the current government. And what they want is a sense of hope, that better is possible and that a better future for New Zealand is possible. All of those issues that we were talking about last year have been discussed across the family barbecues over the summer break, and we've heard a lot back from our Kiwis during that period of time. They want to know that we're going to give young New Zealanders a reason to stay in New Zealand and create a future for themselves here in New Zealand. Last year we lost a record number of Kiwis simply giving up on the country and leaving, looking for opportunity elsewhere that they could not find here. That is an absolute indictment on Christopher Luxon and his government. New Zealanders now are looking to us to provide that alternative. Over the last couple of years, we've done the hard work. We've been out and about around the country. We've listened to New Zealanders. We've taken stock. We've refreshed. We've renewed ourselves. We've changed what we're offering New Zealanders. And now we are into election year. That means we get to talk about what we want to do, how we will do things differently, but also remind New Zealanders of the absolute mess this government has created. Because while they will try and find everybody else to blame for the mess they've created, make no bones about it, this government are responsible for the situation that New Zealand is in at the moment. The structural deficit that Nicola Willis talks about is a structural deficit that she has created. She did not inherit that. The pre-election fiscal update was very clear. New Zealand was on a pathway to recovery. We were heading back into surplus. The economy was going to start growing again. And the first thing that this government did was a slash and burn exercise that ended all of that. It is a consequence of their decisions, and we will not be shy in reminding New Zealanders that the situation we find ourselves in now is because of the bad choices of this government. Tax cuts for landlords and tobacco companies, whilst hard-working New Zealanders find it harder to buy their first home or go and see the doctor, costing nearly $100 in some places to go and see a GP. More than $100 if you have to go and see the GP for more than a couple of minutes. Our policies around providing free doctor's visits have been very well received by New Zealanders. Our policy around the New Zealand Future Fund, about investing in Kiwi businesses, creating jobs here at home in New Zealand, speaks to one of the main concerns of New Zealanders right at the moment, which is what is our future as a country? Is it simply to raise young people and then see them all leave for opportunities elsewhere, or is it to create jobs and opportunities here in New Zealand? And the Future Fund can be a cornerstone of creating that better future. A simple targeted capital gains tax. New Zealanders want it. They've made that very clear. They want to see investment moved out of the speculative housing market and into providing opportunities for New Zealanders. Job creation is something that Kiwis do want to see us focused on. The current government think that job creation is not their job. It is their job. The fact that they're not willing to talk about job creation is the reason that we are seeing increased numbers of unemployed New Zealanders, more people on job seeker benefits, despite their rhetoric, despite all of their tough talk about sanctions. They're actually making it harder for New Zealanders to get a job. And we will hold them accountable for that. But we'll do more than that. We will also make sure that we're offering New Zealanders a real and compelling alternative, because better is possible. Nicola Willis, Christopher Luxon, David Seymour, Winston Peters all want to tell you that this is as good as it gets, and that if they just stand back, that somehow things will fix themselves. They won't. It requires some leadership from government, and there's been no leadership from this government at all. We have a Prime Minister who thinks that low-income New Zealanders are bottom feeders, who think that fundamentally New Zealand is a wet, whiny, miserable country. Well, it's a little bit wet today, but actually what I heard from Kiwis over the summer break was not whiny and miserable. It was desperate for something to get excited about, for some sense of hope, some sense that the government has an idea about how to make the country better. They didn't get that from Christopher Luxon with his State of the Nation speech on Monday. All they got was another litany of blame and excuses when what they wanted to see was a plan for the future. He doesn't have a plan for the future. Stringing together a bunch of management buzzwords is not a plan. And it's certainly not a vision. And I think we have an opportunity now to show New Zealanders what a real vision for the country looks like. One that creates opportunity for New Zealanders. One that recognises our unique, special offering as a country. That our clean, green reputation as a country isn't just a marketing slogan. It's something we need to live up to. It can actually be our competitive advantage in the world. Our tourism industry is built on it, but so is a lot of our exporting industry. Our farmers, our growers, others around the country can feel the effects of climate change. They can see what extreme weather events are doing for them. And they want a government that's taking that seriously, not one that's just simply pretending it's not happening.